Hello everyone, good evening and good afternoon. We have a very special guest today with us. He's my friend and he's a grandmaster. Hello everyone, good evening and good afternoon. We have and his name is Anurag Mhamal. So Anurag, good to have you here. Thanks for being here with me in our
Hello,
second
Atul.
episode of Incredible Chess Show.
Thank you, Atul, for calling me. Great
Yeah.
to be here.
So guys, today we will be knowing lots of things about Anurag, and also we'll learn some of the things related to, of course, our chess. Okay, Eco is there now. Okay, guys, just let me know if Anurag and my voice are good, is good. Anurag, can you just say a few words so that they will understand? I think Eco and everything is proper now, right?
Hello, guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you can hear me clearly. There's no echo, right now?
Yeah, there is no means I just put it for some time and that's why it was like that, I think so, but now it is perfectly fine. So just to let you know guys, many of you might be knowing Anurag, but he is means I will also talk about him. It is clear. Okay, Shaurya is saying it is clear. Okay, cool. So Anurag is a grandmaster. He's the first grandmaster from Goa. Okay, all good. Okay, and his current rating is 2499. And he is Asian Junior Blitz champion. He has played many tournaments in foreign, and I have seen him playing in European circuit quite a lot. And we will be sharing some of his achievements in Europe also. In National Rapid also, he won the second silver medal. Then winner of the Open the Gross. We will be talking about that tournament in a while. Means Anurag, I will show you your photo also, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
we'll do that. And
Whatever I feel is good.
he has one channel with his wife Nandhini. You know Nandhini because she comes to our channel quite often. So their channel's name has changed now to ChessPod. You do check it out. I have given the link in the description also. And now he is busy in teaching a lot of strong players, building up that chess skills and everything. So let's go ahead. So Anurag, what do you think about is what do you think about this chess so which we have started? Do you think that it will be a good thing for in future?
The chess show. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, Atul. That's a good opportunity to
many
um,
ones like they will learn.
express yourself.
Yeah,
So very good opportunity for me also, and very good opportunity to for the people also to get to know more people. Bringing more people always a good thing. So it's a
yeah.
good initiative by you, Atul.
Yeah. So before we go further, I want to show you, show viewers one photo. Okay. And this is the photo which Anurag is there. He is, how old you were that time?
I was 11 or 12, I think, just turning to 12. So that is the
Really? You
first.
don't
No,
look
this
like
one.
11. You don't
This
look
is
like
not
11.
when I was 11, Atul. This I don't know where you picked up. Definitely. This maybe like I was 7 or something, 6 or 7. I didn't have a rating also. 6 or 7. 7 maybe.
6 or 7.
Started
Okay.
playing chess at the age of
And
six and a half. So.
that time it was like your first time playing chess in the tournament, or do you remember, can you recall this tournament anyhow?
Yes, I think this tournament, right, with that T-shirt, I think I recall this to be Sawatim. It's a place in Goa, and it
Uh-huh.
was one of the open rapid tournaments like we used to have on weekends, Saturday, Sunday or so. So I believe it is that one, if I'm not mistaken.
So
I
this
think
was
it is
like your
that one.
starting point in chess.
Yes. Starting point in chess, my dad used to take me to all the rapid tournaments held all over Goa.
Okay.
So as
And
much as
that
possible.
time your dad used to teach you, or who was your first coach?
Actually, first, right, my dad introduced me.
Uh-huh.
Then I went to Shivaswamy. He has a coach here in Goa. He was teaching in my close locale,
Mm-hmm.
and there, like a lot of time, he groomed me in the initial stages.
Okay.
And yes, so that was the initial stage. Dad used to sit with me anyway. So both like at home, like I used to go, and my dad used to sit with me for a while.
Okay.
But
Means
in the
whatever you
morning and
used to
all, when he's
learn,
for
you need to
work.
practice with your dad.
No, not like that.
No.
Like
Okay.
he used to like to see chess. He likes chess. He still likes chess. He's still actively in chess. So he used to again later we used to watch see some games and all like things like that. And morning time he used to go for work. So I used to go to Swami sir most likely most
Okay.
of the times. And since I had school, so
Okay, cool. And after that, okay, I have something unique also for the viewers. Okay, directly some champion I will show to them. Just okay, this is the champion's photo. You can say okay, let me make it a little bit smaller. Okay, yeah, this one. What do you think about, like, what would you say about this one? Where did you win this beautiful? I think it is a medal or trophy.
It is like a trophy, let's say. Like it was in San Sebastian
Mm-hmm.
in
In San
Open
Sebastian.
the Cross. Yes,
Okay.
Open the Cross in San Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a good trip that time. Like we played three tournaments in Europe, and this was in 2017.
Okay.
And this was the second one, I believe. Before this, I had one in Forni di Sopra. This was the
Mm-hmm.
second one. And the third one, we went to Benask after this. So it was an overall good trip because in Benask, actually, I completed my live rating,
Mm-hmm.
which was 2500 across basically, in live rating, which helped me. I had already got a Grandmaster norm. So
Oh, cool.
here also, by the way, here also I made a Grandmaster norm also after winning the tournament.
So how many grandmaster
Extra.
norms you had in total?
I have five Grandmaster norms altogether,
Wow,
and
wow.
this was
Here
the
people can't even get one norm and you have five.
this was the fifth one or the fourth one, I believe.
Okay.
Fifth or
And
fourth, yeah.
okay, I have this photo. Like, was it from after you won the tournament or what? I don't know exactly. So let me see. Like, okay, just 1 minute. So this is the photo I have of yours. Um, what about this one? Like, this was after you became a grandmaster, or like what was the story exactly?
Which one is it?
Like I just shared. I hope that you got it on live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is exactly, yeah, when I came back from the trip. I told you, right? After Benask, like after
Ah,
coming
okay,
back from
okay.
that. No, this is not Benask. This is when I was in Skopje. Or, well, I am a little. This is when I got my final Grandmaster now. So what happened is not final. Yeah, final Grandmaster.
I
This
think
was.
before, like, when you were like trying for the grandmaster norm and all, like you were struggling, or it was very smooth for you.
No, this is during the same trip, Atul. Just that, during the trip, right, I got a little carried and got a haircut in San Sebastian, I think. Yeah, that's why I was confused because of the haircut. So, yeah, this is the same trip after
Okay.
the fifth Grandmaster norm and when I completed my rating. So
Uh-huh.
now I was actually a Grandmaster because I
Okay.
just need to do the formalities to get this. But I had
Maybe
completed rating and norms, everything.
this news came around that time. Anurag inching closer to GM title.
Yes, yes, it will be somewhere around July, August, somewhere in that
Mm-hmm.
time. Yes, definitely.
Cool.
And this is
So
the same thing which we won in San Sebastian, right?
correct,
A
correct. This is
beautiful
the same
tournament.
photo which we just looked at. So guys, you can see, like, do like the stream, because now we will be going towards chess content also. But before we go there, Anurag, I want to ask you some questions related to your career as a chess coach, as well as your channel ChessPod. Like how all the things are going on, like, because it is a little bit transition period, like you're changing into a new name, and this channel is growing.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, Atul, we had a channel since last year. Like
Last year,
we
that's what I'm saying.
started.
But the your channel name, I'm saying, like, you're changing
Yeah,
it.
so it
Yeah.
was an instant, like one day we decided that we'll start something, and we had
Uh-huh.
decided a long time, but we decided like now it's the time we'll take the step, and we went ahead with Go and Chess Trio. Not that we had anything against the name,
Mm-hmm.
just that. As it is, like we wanted to grow. It is a little bit tricky to remember Go and Chess Trio. It's a little long. So what we decided now is we try to change it to ChessPod just because it's easy to remember, and we have plans to, let's say, launch an academy here in our current locale in
Okay.
Goa at
Uh-huh.
the start, and also launch a website. Now, Go and Chess Trio a little bit long and difficult to remember, and some things like we got some inputs from people, also from Atul, also. So yeah, we thought like like Atul, incredible chess, any
Yeah.
academy or anything like that is easy to remember, catchy, and hence we came up with this name and we had a small video. So not exactly, but somehow like that only on a channel where we decided how exactly we'll come across it. We thought about it for a while. We'll be
Mm-hmm.
launching also the website soon about this. So it's a
Cool.
good initiative. We
Miss,
started because
guys,
we wanted to
if you
bring
want to
more.
learn from Anurag or Nandhini, or like Niraj, Miss Nandhini's brother, then definitely you can check it out, ChessPod. Chesspod.com, maybe after some time.
Definitely after some time, yes.
Yeah. And like you will be my two good. Okay, Nandini is there in the chat. So like, this is one photo I want to say, like I think this is from the same tournament which we were talking about. Stani is also there, I can see.
Yes, this is Tani. We were roommates actually,
Oh.
and yeah, we had a good trip. All together, we were roommates for the entire trip,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a nice trip with him. Yes,
Okay.
he was an IM that time.
Okay, he was an IM. Before we
Yes.
go further, I just want to ask you one thing related to, like, you won in Asian Blitz Junior, in Asian Junior Blitz. How was it like? Because many times I have seen like people like they try a lot, but when you win, how does it feel like to win Asian medal?
Well, actually, to be honest, right, I didn't even plan for it or prepare for it or nothing like that. I just came to know there only in the tournament that they'll be holding the Asian Junior Blitz. It was in
Uh-huh.
between the tournament. So I thought, why not? Let's just play. And somehow the tournament, I didn't expect, I didn't have any expectations. It was just a 1 day thing.
Mhm.
But it was amazing. I somehow managed to get an excellent tournament. And I think the last round, I think I had to win the tournament or something like that. It was okay. I had to win, or like I needed to win, and I was playing Salem Saleh.
Okay.
Somehow it just happened, and I beat Salem Saleh, and I had lost one game earlier, but that didn't matter, and I managed to score eight, and I just won the tournament. It was a smooth experience overall. I was a decent blitz player also. I was, or I don't know if I still am, but I
Obviously, you
just
are a
had fun
strong
in that
player.
tournament. All I did was have fun. No pressure, nothing. It was a fun trip also, had fun.
Mhm.
And I managed to win the medal. Coming to the main tournament though, right? Funny thing, main tournament also, last round I had to win, which I did. But somebody else also needed a good result. So just missed out and I came fourth. So if I had that one result better in my favor, I would have come third and got a bronze medal in the main Asian junior race also. But I
Okay.
finished fourth, unfortunately.
Cool. So, like, should we come to the game part now? Like, maybe we can check out some of your games, and then viewers will also enjoy some like games, and they will also learn on the way.
Definitely, yes.
Definitely. Okay, guys, you can ask us questions, and Anurag, I'm going to like send you the request. Just please add it. Yeah, like I'll just put the game also here.
Okay.
Which game would you like to look at first, Daniel game, or which one?
That the Daniel game will be Yuffa Daniel game.
Okay, another game is also Sedlak game is also Nikola.
Yes.
Okay, let's
This one
start
is
with.
pretty exciting. So let's start with some exciting stuff. That one has something else, and
Okay, okay. Now I will give complete control to you. You can talk about the game. So, guys, now we are going to learn from Anurag, and he is going to reveal his secrets to us. So, do like the stream, and let's keep learning something new. So,
Atul.
Anurag, you have the control now. Yeah.
Before we begin, I have a small novice question to you. How do I flip the board here?
Okay, okay. You want to flip the board?
Yes.
Okay, now it is flipped for me at least. You are going to say show it to from black side, or you are white in this position, right?
No, you loaded which game, Atul? Sedlak game you loaded. No, we
You are there,
wanted
no? In
Yufa game. Like I want.
you want Yufa game? Okay, okay. I'll just change it. Just 1 minute.
We'll start with the exciting one. This one is not that exciting, but never a good game nevertheless.
Okay, okay,
So we'll
okay, okay.
show them both.
Let's change it. Let's change it. It will just take 1 minute. Okay, I have changed it, and it is from the black side now. Means you can change it. That
Ah,
button is there, no?
yeah, I got it. Yeah,
I got you
perfect.
got it right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, cool. Sorang is also here. Good to have you, Sorang. And guys, you can ask us questions, and Anurag and I will definitely be answering your questions. So let's start it then.
Once again, hello to all the people in the chat who have already joined earlier and who have joined just now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
some
let's
of
start
them
with.
just joined us here now.
So let's get to the game.
Yeah.
Now, something about me is I'm not a very I don't dwell too much into openings, so I don't focus too much on openings a lot. For
Mm-hmm.
this game, I had seen it was a very strong tournament. By the way, let's get to first part. Like, this is the tournament I completed my final norm in.
Oh,
So
wow.
this was in Czech Open in Pardubice in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and the trio, all three of us were there in that tournament. We were staying together, the
Mm-hmm.
three of us. That time I was not married to Nandhini, but yeah, it was a big memorable tournament with them also, the trio, and also because of the way I played chess here. So this tournament, I had an exceptional
It's like
tournament.
you're like very good memory.
Yes, this is one of the best tournaments I've ever played in my life.
Wow.
So it was, I don't know what it was, but I was somehow feeling exceptionally fresh here, and I was able to see things which I don't think I've seen later also after that or even before. I don't know what it was, but in that tournament, I was somehow having an exceptional tournament.
As
So
as far as I know, Pardubice Open they have some cutoff also. Like you should be 2300 player, then only you can participate. Was it like that? It is an exceptionally
that I
strong
don't
tournament. I
remember.
know.
I don't remember that, but
Okay.
maybe it is having it was a strong tournament like that. It was not like they were taking below 2000, but I don't remember the cutoff exactly, whether it
Okay.
was
Okay.
2100 or 2200 or 2000. But yes, it was an exceptionally strong tournament nevertheless.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. So here you are black and Daniel Yuffa is white. So you
white.
started with d4.
Yeah, he's a Russian grandmaster, and we started with d4 here. So I knew that I'll be expecting d4 from him. I went with d5.
Mm-hmm.
C4 and C6. So I've chosen the Slav against him.
Okay.
That time I used to play this a lot, and for that game, actually, I got some time to look at these games, and I decided I will go with Slav.
Mm-hmm.
Knight f3,
Okay.
knight f6. Again, all standard. Don't get too carried away with this pawn because if you capture it, can I show it, Atul? Like, or
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the
Just
most.
1 minute. I'll just connect because last time when I connected with the headphone, it was more clear.
Okay, perfect.
Just 1 minute. I think it is connected. Can you just talk? Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Okay. It's still not connected, I think so. Just one
it
minute,
is
okay?
not.
Yeah, can you speak a little bit? Just one
Yeah,
minute.
I'm speaking. Atul. Can you hear me?
Okay, here it is not catching somehow.
Is my voice too low?
No, 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 no. It's okay. Now I'll remove it because I don't have I did not connect it with now I think it should be okay. I just disconnected it.
Yes, Ananta Krishnan, I don't think I have suffered fever like that during the tournament. But if you do, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know actually. Just eat well, and there's not much you can do actually. It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
so let's continue with the game. So Slav,
yes,
you were talking about here DC4. Yeah, Anurag, you have complete control. Okay, you can talk about the game. I will definitely be asking you questions in between.
but Atul, like when
Please.
I say like I'm not allowed to move here apparently.
You are not all. Yeah, you are there,
Ah, okay,
right?
now I can, now I can.
Yeah,
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 okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
so I can take TC4 here also. Again, that's a different variation, but eventually I will lose the pawn. There are things where he can definitely, you can try to hold on to the pawn and play, but it's a different game altogether. We are
Yeah.
not going to go there. That is not what I was intending to. So knight
Hmm.
f6, he played e3, common Slav.
Hmm.
Now, by the way, if you play knight c3, definitely I was intending to take d into c4.
DC4. Yeah.
And yes, and there is a lot of thing after this, like you can play bishop
Yep.
f5, and we have a mainline Slav here.
Correct.
So in the game though, I knew he will be playing e3, so this is what I was expecting. Bishop
Hmm.
out, bad bishop on c8. We need it out to f5 right away. If I get a chance, then I will play it. And white played 1 second, e3, bishop f5. White played knight c3 and e6 again, consolidating on the center here, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now white played knight h4. Something that we don't try to do in the opening actually, knight h4, but this is again a main line because let's look at this
Okay,
bishop.
means
The bishop is
for
pretty strong.
beginners or like starting players, I feel this thing that playing the same piece again and again is not that cool. But okay, grandmasters know that what they are doing exactly in the opening. So basically, playing this knight is like white wants to get rid of the bishop. That's the only idea which I can think. Right?
Yes, white wants to get rid of the strong bishop. Yes, it's
Uh-huh.
strong. Now, I'll show you one more thing. Like, let's say we go back and bishop e2 was played, and I have, fortunately, let's say played h6. Now, knight h4 has absolutely no merit because I can just come back, right? So, knight
Hmm.
h4 becomes very silly there on h4. It doesn't fulfill anything. And to improve, he will have to go back once again to f3, not really achieving anything in the position. So, here, knight h4 specifically is targeting my bishop.
Yeah.
And since this knight is bad on h4, it's not the best of knights. I don't want to give my bishop away straight away like this. Now, this is what will happen. This is
Hmm.
also a line, but
Hmm.
as much as possible, I want to try to get more in return for giving away my
Before
bishop.
exchanging the bishop.
Yes. So I put my bishop on e4. The
Okay.
point being, if he captures with the knight, that allows me to centralize the knight.
Hmm.
Much better, definitely. The knight on h4 is under attack. And further, I can even go with a check and maybe complete my development much faster. Again, I have managed to get his good knight on c3 rather than I badly place knight on h4.
Correct,
Of course,
correct.
my opponent is a grandmaster. He's not allowing me to do that. So he plays f3. Again, this is
Yeah.
all theory, but I'm just trying to help you understand a little better. So when you're learning opening, so let's say if you're learning openings, it's better to learn the ideas behind your moves rather than just learn the opening by itself. If you just learn by itself, you may forget something. That's one big thing which happens to me also. I forget. But if I remember the ideas behind my moves, it becomes much easier to remember them and implement them in my game. So even if I forget something, what was my idea? My idea was to keep this knight at h4 as much as possible. If I'm going to give my bishop away, I want to try to make more weaknesses for my opponent.
Okay,
Again, how do
playing
I make
f3.
it?
So I have one question as like spectator also. Allow like forcing your opponent to play e3, f3. Don't you think so that he might go for e4 in future?
Yes, something that we will definitely see in the game. E4 will definitely be idea. So white has created a weakness, and he will
Means in a
definitely
way,
try
means
to
I
eliminate
don't know
and
like
make.
whether we are helping or like what is exactly, because if e4 comes, then white will be getting the center control.
Yes, white will get a center control. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do as black. I'm giving the center control, creating some weaknesses, making him play e4, and later going to exploit that, or let's say try to attack him in the center in return,
Ah, okay.
which we'll see in the later stage
Okay,
of
in
the
the game,
game.
in
But
the
I
game
will
we'll
try
see.
to compensate. I'm not going to. If I just allow him to take control of the center, get good space, good development, then what is the point of giving the bishop away like this?
Yeah,
That is
correct.
exactly the idea of this opening, and that's what we will see as we progress further.
Okay,
So I
cool.
came back now because clearly there is nothing left for me to do. Bishop g6,
Yeah,
he plays queen b3.
queen
Now,
b3.
why exactly doesn't he capture the bishop immediately? Well, let's say if he captures, maybe he thinks that, I could get some attack immediately on
Like,
h2. For example, I will try to attack the h2 pawn directly, which he'll have to deal with, right?
yeah.
So if he keeps that bishop on g6 for the moment, like he did in the game, once I play queen c7, there is no h2 pawn in attack. The benefit, he can do something else in return.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
correct,
something else
correct.
in return. Yeah.
And
And
and the bishop is also not going anywhere, like means as such. Bishop
well,
on g6 and yeah.
that is actually what should happen. But bishop should not go anywhere. But we'll see something that happened differently in the game.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
bishop d2. We are still, there is some theory. There is some things which are done differently. We'll come across. But bishop d2. What is the idea of bishop d2? One is
Maybe
sometimes white likes to triple O, or let's say
oh,
castle on the queen side, getting to safety.
okay.
Because he's ahead slightly, maybe he wants to try to get ahead in development and open in the center. Whenever you're opening in the center or something, preferably your king should be safe first. So
Correct.
bishop d2 tries to accomplish that. And a second thing that he can do is rook c1. You see my queen on c7
Correct.
looks like a good x-ray to get straight away on that queen on c7, hence rook c1. Two ideas in one. This also bishop d2 is developing a piece.
Correct.
So I played bishop e7. I'm also developing, and white played g3. Now, this right here in this position right away, normally white takes knight into g6
Correct.
before playing g3. He has tried to do everything what he wants perfectly, but here there are two things. He can do rook c1, or he can take knight into g6.
Yeah.
And
Means like
this is what I
okay, means
expected. I was
if
expecting.
he captures, then at least the plan of whatever white was doing until now, bringing the knight to the corner of the board, it will be fulfilled.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he captures the bishop.
Yeah.
So he played g3 though, and he played very fast. He was playing fast anyways. Not that g3 is a bad move, but I just felt like, I should try something different here. Now, this part I have not looked at after this. So this was a new setup for me. I was expecting knight g6 or rook c1. So what I thought, maybe I will try. I just felt about it on the game. This is why I say, like, learning the opening with ideas is better, because if you know by line, you might have just played normally like castle or knight bd7 and
Yeah.
continue.
Blindfoldly, like
But
we know this thing
blindly, you will
that
just continue with the idea.
castle, everybody knows. Yeah.
Exactly. You will blindly continue the idea you already know. So I thought I will try something new. He is playing fast. I played bishop h5. I took my time for this and I played bishop h5. Now this move is not a bad move again, nor it's like an incredible move, like incredible chess. But it has a small purpose. One is I've kept the bishop on the board, managed to keep it. And since the knight is vulnerable, the pawn on f3 is vulnerable, I have a very sneaky idea. For example, if my rook comes here, I can try something like g5.
G5. Oh, knight needs to go back and the pawn on f3 will fall.
Exactly. Pawn on f3 is fall. Very subtle idea. Of course, nobody should miss this simple, silly tactic. But
And
that is
I have
one
one
thing.
question also, as we are talking about the ideas in the opening, and I have seen you many times playing games that means I don't know whether whenever I look at your games, you take a lot of time in the opening phase, almost like half an hour or maybe 45 minutes just in starting 10 to 15 moves. So like, what is your thought process in during that time? Like, why do you take so much time? You play according to the like you try to invent something on the board, or what is like that? Because I take time, means I'm just telling you my own perspective. I take time because I don't really understand what is happening in the position, so I need to figure out that thing. But as you are a grandmaster, you must be thinking in a different way. So I just want to know about that thing, like in the opening phase we are talking about.
Yes, I think it's a very good question, Atul.
Yeah.
But the first point is, I think spending 30 to 45 minutes is overkill. Unless you are in an exceptionally new position which you don't know anything about. Like you said, like sometimes you're in situations where you don't know what to do.
Yeah, I
And you're
don't
taking
understand
time.
what exactly I should be doing.
Exactly. Now, this cannot happen every time. So,
Mhm.
once in a while, spending 30 to 45 minutes is okay. I used to do this earlier, but that is overkill. Like, spending too much time in the opening, then you have no time for the middle game and
Correct.
absolutely no time in the end game. So, that is also not wise. Now, spending 15, I do spend a little extra time, like you said, 15, maybe 15 minutes
15 to 20
extra
minutes,
than,
yeah, you take a
yeah.
little bit time, yeah.
I'm not that guy who will start with 1 hour 30 minutes and with increments suddenly reach to 1 hour 40 minutes on the clock. Some people do that very fast and immediately they will reach 1 hour 40, gaining time on the
Mhm.
clock with like 30 seconds. That is not what I do. So I take my time to understand the position. And like you said, you mentioned the point inventing. Yes, understanding based on my understanding of the position.
Mhm.
I did look at bishop h5 as my own thing. Like I did not know this before, and so I thought about it, and I used my application like knowledge. Like I thought bishop h5 maybe something I can try because I'm able to keep the bishop, and I have a couple of extra ideas that I can benefit from here,
Okay.
and spoil his coordination. There is something about that, like his plans are very similar, like e4, etc. But I will
Mhm.
spoil that a little, as you will see later. So I
Yeah.
thought I will play something like bishop h5. If I find something like this on the board, then I
Mhm.
will try to see if I can spend 5 minutes or something to figure out whether I can actually make something out of it, or is my idea like
And
not
it
really
will
good and
also
we should
take your
get something
opponent
simple.
into some new waters, you can say, where he is not that
Yes,
comfortable.
yes, correct. I do try that sometimes, like to take my opponent to a territory which both of us are new, and here every like your knowledge, whatever you see at home, will not work. You'll have to play on the board
And you
and try
feel more
to.
comfortable when both are in new territory.
Yes, I like complications, and I'm very comfortable in positions where both of us are out of the book. You say
Okay.
book knowledge out of the book, and both of us are on our own. So we're trying to use our own application knowledge, our own pattern recognition, everything to make the most out of the position. I like such positions
Okay,
rather
cool.
than just knowing the opening for
Knowing the
15, 30
stuff and
moves
then just
and
playing it
just
out.
ratting it out on the
Yeah.
board. Yes. So bishop h5 is kind of in that territory, trying something
Okay.
maybe out of the
So the for the
loop.
viewers, I would like to say, like, guys, do like the stream because we are learning a lot of new things from Anurag, and I hope that this will stream will reach to more people and everybody will learn and they will also improve the game. We will be taking your questions. Wait for a while because I thought like we will take the questions after the game. So during the game, let Anurag explain the things and let the secrets revealed to us. Okay.
One of the secret is definitely this, trying to invent and trying to be creative. Creative is, I like to be creative. So this
Okay,
is something
so
that I
be
like.
creative, guys. That is the main thing which Anurag is talking about. And yes, Anurag, you can continue now.
And by the way,
Huh?
tempting here to again kick me away with g4, right?
Ah, yeah, G4.
Yeah, very tempting. So the problem again, we have a simple tactic. Knight takes c4,
Yeah,
and the
correct.
knight on
Knight
h4
G4.
once again exploited. F takes e4 and bishop takes h4, and I think this is going to be extremely bad for
Yeah, yeah.
white.
I don't think so. White is going to survive.
White is not going to survive that, definitely, yes. So
Yeah.
he played bishop e2.
Mhm.
Again, if he had played bishop e2 it also, let's quickly look at that. Once again, knight is getting trapped. So
Correct.
not really good. He has
Now,
to keep that
earlier,
square
at least the
open.
knight had a G2 square. Now it is not even there.
Yes. Now, what has happened is bishop h5 fulfilled one purpose of one small thing and temporarily has delayed this.
Mhm.
Now, to continue further, again, this is where the creative part. This I had seen when I played bishop h5 only. Now, if I just go with normal development, eventually he will take the knight back. Eventually, he will continue with his ideas. Bishop h5 did not do much. So, to
Mhm.
make the most of it, I wanted to do something creative again fast. And I
Mhm.
started with d takes c4.
Okay.
Now, why exactly this? Again, bishop takes c4. Again, I have the point of playing
Ah,
g5
G5
here.
is again there. F3 is going to
Again, there
fall.
on that.
Correct.
F3 is again going to fall.
Yeah.
So, what does white need to do? He has to take with the queen. A6 is support here, right?
Mhm.
Now, I continued with a6. Let me explain this more a little better to you.
Mhm.
See, white has created a lot of weaknesses in the center. Let's say, let's put it in red. Like creating the weakness in center. King is still in the center.
Mm-hmm.
What are White's main ideas? He will try to complete development, take over the center. Before that, what do I want to do? I don't want my opponent to complete all that, get everything so smoothly. So what I want to do is I want to complicate things and open things right in the center. I want to blast in the center straight away. So how is a6 helping me? It wants to play b5 and then follow it up with c5. I want to create some chances right away, right now. And that is
Means
the
you
point
want
of...
to open up on this side of the board before he settles down everything.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Now, b5 would be nice to do even first directly. Not a bad thing. But unfortunately, it's a
Knight
bad move.
b5 is coming.
Knight
No?
b5 is coming, exploiting the
correct.
pin. So I need some support. I need some help. My a6 point comes in. Now, normally, again, don't play unnecessary pawn moves without having an idea. This is why ideas are important. a6 otherwise would be a bad move if it was doing nothing. It's a simple pawn move. For example, h6 here. Absolutely no idea, a bad move here. So unnecessarily don't move a pawn. I have an idea and you can understand this idea and maybe use it in your own game sometimes or the other. Why queen b3?
Okay, I
Prophylaxis.
have one question here. Okay. He
Yes.
played queen b3, but what if he just keeps the queen there and stops your b5 with a4 move?
Yes.
Yeah.
If he stops this a4 idea, right, a6 does one more thing in the process. This is another multi-reason of this. One was to play b5 and another reason is knight b5. Now I could directly open the center with c5 also. What is the problem? I'm not very happy with this knight b5 kind of thing coming in. My queen is under attack and again the queen will have to run. So a6 takes care of that also. So if a4, now maybe I can go with c5, right?
Move. Okay, okay.
Yes,
Your
I can
purpose
go
of
with
opening
c5.
up the game is fulfilling.
Yes, this is one reason. I have another reason, and it's a tactical reason, and that is b5. That's why I said this game was very nice. Now, what happens here is...
Okay, a b5. The rook on a1 is hanging, queen is also hanging, so there is no time
Exactly.
for knight b5. Oh,
There is no time for knight b5 because of rook into a1, and there is no time for rook into a8
correct. Because
I'll
the
capture
queen on c4 is
queen on
hanging.
c4 is hanging.
Cool,
Exactly.
cool idea.
Exactly. So a4 did not fulfill much, right? He'll have to go back and then maybe I cannot do c5, but maybe I can gain some space with b4, and then try to
Then
open
c5
up after.
might be coming on the board anyhow.
Exactly. I want to get play. So my thing here now, my approach to the game will be to create play as much as possible. I'm not going to set up any fixed setup. I've already given up the center. I've given White the center control. I'm going to try to break and create some play for myself. So castling also, I've sidelined it for the moment.
Yeah. Miss, your idea was very cool. Like I really like b5 move, and after a4, it's kind of very like it's a surprising move for your opponent also. Usually think like a4 and the b5 will not come, but actually it's coming.
Yes, to play b5,
Yeah.
immediately. Now he played prophylaxis queen b3 immediately, and I played c5. See, now he has already moved the queen away. I have already taken knight b5 under control because of my pawn on a6. I don't need to simply play b5 here. So what I did, I just went with c5 rather and try to open up the position.
Correct.
Okay. So this is where White doesn't have rook c1 yet on the board.
Correct.
He doesn't have rook c1, so he cannot really extreme me or anything. So he chose to play d5. Again, this is a good move, which I expected definitely. So when you're playing a move, you should have your ideas lined up. And I expected d5. Now after d5 is where things will start getting a little very interesting and very exciting. Now, if I take e into d5 and my opponent, let's say he takes this and knight into d5 and queen into d5, I haven't gained much. My bishop is under attack now. I move my bishop, I will lose it, and then he can castle. I just want to show a simple thing here. I castle, and White has two bishops. He has center, like little weaknesses are there, but he will improve on it with the two bishops, settle his rooks on the board, some chances for him, and he will get a decent position. I looked at this. Then I saw another problem here. White has sacrificed the pawn. He can also get his knight in the game like this beforehand, creating problems here. So I saw a lot of problems here. And I'd seen this beforehand. So this is important. I did not start calculating here again about this. I had already predetermined in my mind what I'm going to do next.
Before playing c5 and all, like you thought
Yes.
about d5 already.
Yes, I thought d5 will be a problem and it has to be dealt with. Now, one way to deal with it is push e5. Again, is this good? No. I'm trying to create play. I'm not trying to give my opponent a center, complete control, outpost. Everything has been given away.
Knight is
Not
also
worth
coming
it.
there, and your bishop on e7 will not be that happy in this position, right?
Yes, definitely. The bishop also is bad. This bishop also, bishop h5. What is the point? Not much. So keeping that in mind, what I decided beforehand was to go with an interesting. So this move, I think, a little bit surprised my opponent. And I took my time again. I had already seen this before, but I took my time again, maybe another 5-6 minutes to check what I should like what I should be doing here. So after b5, like what I was trying to intend was trying to make play on the board. So after b5, let's see, I've given up a pawn. Now this is the beauty of it, d into e6. Again, if I capture the pawn, white is getting a lot of play like
Right,
this.
right.
Knight is also
So
coming.
you don't want to capture the pawn.
No, I don't want to capture the pawn. And this is where I'm going to try to make play c4. Now, of course, if my opponent moves back, I can capture the pawn, right? Now that's win-win for me because I didn't lose a pawn also.
And
I've got a
d5
good...
square is under control. You can castle on the next move, and moreover, your bishop, which was like earlier, it was going to just guess exchange. It can come back on f7 square.
Exactly. It can come back on f7 square. And one more interesting part, let me just show you. It can even go to e8 and shift to the other side of the board.
Nice.
That's also something interesting. Another benefit of getting rid of the pawn on f7. I've opened up
Sometimes,
more.
it feels like the pawn on e6 is actually a weakness. It feels like that, but
It is a weakness actually,
it
to
is
be
a weakness,
honest.
but it is in a way helping black.
Yes, that's important. It's in a way helping us do something better, use it effectively. So what he did is he captured the pawn. Of course, like, if white has played like this, the best way to continue is to take up the challenge. You have given me the pawn. When you have sacrificed the pawn, I will take up the pawn and try to play after that, see what I can do the most out of that, meaning winning the pawn. So at least he wins something, right? He's behind on development. With the process of doing this, right, one thing you'll notice is after I capture the pawn with the bishop, of course, queen goes back. Again, knight c6. I've kept castling for a little later and with a specific reason because I felt like maybe things like this will be more important to me right now. Now, if somebody wonders if I actually had all whatever I will be playing next, like predetermined, no, it's something called intuition. Intuitionally, I've given up a pawn because I feel I can create more play in the game. I could very well be wrong, but my intuition says that, it's worth it. My development is better, space is better. I have lost a pawn, but I'm getting more files to play with.
Your opponent is also not that ahead in development, you can say.
Exactly. All these factors, less development, a lot of play, makes me feel like, I should get something in return. Until here, I'm happy with my position.
And I don't like these bishops, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. The d2 and the e2 bishops, right?
Yeah.
Not doing much on the board yet, at least yet. The more this, like when the pawn starts like stinking us is when he's now castling, completing development, getting his pieces aligned, knight on h4 is going, like everything he gets rid of, that time it starts staying the extra pawn in the end phase or somewhere later.
1 minute, your voice is cracking, Anurag.
My voice is cracking?
Now it should be good. Like it was cracking before some time.
Okay. Is it better now, though?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Guys, just let me know in the chat like if everything is good, and keep liking the stream so that we can reach more people. Your support is needed, guys. Okay, and just listen to Anurag.
Okay, so next part like I wanted to get to is like if your opponent completes development, that's an extra pawn will start stinging us because we're pawn down. Finally, pawn is a pawn, right?
Pawn is a pawn.
Until you have pieces on the board, though, you have to make most of it. And hence, you see why I went with knight first. Because I feel like, instead of castling, I can do more with my knight coming and creating problems for my opponent. So I went with knight first.
And it is also like, means most of the time I have seen like in some of my games also, sometimes we play certain moves on autopilot. Like we feel like we need to play that move and we just play it without thinking. But if you pause in that moment, the way you paused here and you felt like, okay, my knight can do better than my, like just castling in the position. So this kind of small decisions can make a big difference.
Yes, exactly. And autopilot is something that people do in the opening many of the times. Of course, in certain little situations, you can do it if you know everything. But that is what I don't tend to gravitate towards because I'd like to play with a little creative ideas. Sometimes there are some small changes, like tiny changes, which I like to, like bishop h5, for example. A tiny change, which I felt was something that I can play for. And that's why I did not... do what I'd seen at home. I'd seen something else at home, but I felt like I can try something new here. That is autopilot, not a good thing in my opinion. Anyways, after knight f5, and this is when I was I thought I can do something very creative here. And here, this time onwards, when what I was calculating, right? After this, like fresh start, like, because the intuition part is over, I've got good development. What is White trying to do? Exactly what I just told you. Complete development, get rid of his bad pieces.
Correct.
Knight on h4, badly placed. He's trying to attack my pawn, eliminate my bishop. And next part, if I don't play actively and correctly, I will be in problems. pawn will come to haunt me later. I'm pawn down, right? So this is where I have to make the most of it, and the time is now. And again, I can, okay, yeah, I will speak slow, but again, if I'm trying to castle, if a castle, yes, not a bad move at all.
Voice cracking, just one
Yeah,
minute.
can you just confirm that? Like, is my voice cracking?
Yeah,
Should I
before
fix
some
something on
time
my
it was
side?
cracking for sure, but right now also it's cracking or not, I am not that sure. Okay,
Okay,
I
so
will
I
do
think we
one
should
thing. I'll
just
do one thing. I'll just change the speakers and then check it. Okay, just one minute.
okay, maybe I can
One
try.
minute,
Should I
one
try
minute.
something myself?
Yeah. Now, if you speak a little bit, can you speak?
Let me maybe try something here. Uh,
Uh,
um, uh, I think now, right? Maybe my voice should not crack.
I hope so.
I think now my voice may be much better. Hopefully, guys, can you tell me?
I'm just checking that only. Just one minute.
Yeah, you can tell me. My voice is much better now.
Yeah, can you speak hello something? No, no, no. Just one minute, one minute. Now, I hope so. Now, it should be good. Again, I just say hello. Means I just changed. I think it's not coming there. 1 minute, okay, 1 minute. It's coming or not for the viewers, I don't know. Guys, yeah, just can you okay, guys, can you hear him by any chance or no? But no, it's worse than before. It's mute. Okay, it's mute. That's what I was saying. Like it's muted. Before you changed it, it sounded good. Okay. Just 1 minute, 1 minute. I have done something. Means I changed something, and yeah. Now is it they are able to hear you or not? I don't know. Now can you speak? I think they are not able to hear you. Okay, I'll just put it like this. Okay, just 1 minute.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I
Actually
think it
going
should be
on?
good now. Miss, this is
Yes.
normal. I have done. I had not. Miss, I changed it to previous one, which we were having.
Okay.
Now just I think it should be good. I don't know. Today I'm not able to find my. Okay, okay. Now it should. The problem should solve now. Wait, just 1 minute. Okay, so that everything will be good. I'll just change it to this.
Uh,
Yeah.
Now, can everybody hear me clearly?
Yeah, I think so. Everything should be good because I got my wire now.
Okay. Now, hopefully, everything is clear, right?
Yeah, yeah. Everything is clear. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Cool and calm.
yeah.
Definitely fixes everything. Okay. So one more thing about this position is if a castle, like what I was saying is if a castle, yes, I mean, it does the job. It tries to complete development. Yes, but I was looking at something more. And that's where I looked at the move bishop g6.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to make the most of it. I think somebody said knight b4 and bishop g6. Yes, I had calculated all, I had looked at all, and I somehow felt like bishop g6 worked out perfectly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And here I will show you what he did. Knight b4, somebody had said, which we'll come back to. Let's first verify the simplest details. And this I had to calculate all, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Knight into g7 check, winning a pawn. Of course, another pawn is a pawn.
Yeah, but you will be getting
King
king
f7.
f7. Yeah.
Yes, and he will go back to f5. Now, the point is he doesn't lose a piece in the process. He's still keeping the pin,
Mm-hmm.
and the piece can put further pressure. He can protect it either with g4 or with e4. He can do it. But what am I going to get is
Mm-hmm.
after queen d7, I can play queen d7 also. I have a better idea though with knight b4, what I'm going to look for is immediate play. For example, after queen b1, I'm going to focus more on
Rook d8. Yes,
creating,
I
like,
was thinking about rook d8. Yes.
definitely. I'm
The
trying to
the
make
idea
the
is to
most.
play knight d3, right? And then win the bishop knight also on f5 maybe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Atul, your stream is on. Okay. Yeah.
Is it on?
So rook d8.
Is
Yeah,
it
it
on?
is on. I thought
No,
like
no,
your
it's
stream is
it's
lagging. Like,
oh, it's lagging.
is it?
Yeah, I think it's on my OBS it is perfect, but there it is lagging. Okay, I think
Okay,
it
is
is
it
back.
lagging? Like, we have
No,
some these
yeah,
things
yeah.
happen, guys. We are having some kind of this. I think either I'm lagging on the stream, something is going wrong.
Uh, my internet seems to be good only. Today only what happened? Now is it fine? I think it's fine there.
No, because I was stuttering quite a lot on.
Now it should
No,
be
on the
good.
video, like on the video, I was stuttering on your video. So
Now it I think it is not anything. It is normal.
nothing is happening, right? Then it's okay. That's perfect.
Yeah, before some time I think it was like some issue was there. It was lagging that time.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that there's no worry. Like, I was going to go for what exactly?
Mhm.
My important take here is I'm going to play for
Mhm.
uh development piece active.
Yeah, it's starting. Yeah, it is reconnected now. Now it is
It is,
reconnected.
right?
Yeah, my miss I completely got disconnected. Miss internet was not there.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah,
network
that's
issue.
okay, guys. It
Yeah,
happens. Network
yeah.
issue. Sometimes you can't help it. So after rook h8, this queen b1, and what we are trying to get here is good piece activity. So
Mhm.
let's proceed further. Let's go back and see actually what happened in the game. He did not go for the pawn. Clearly, see, too many pawns, too much of anything. Definitely not a good thing. That's
Mhm.
why knight into g7, cancelled out by my opponent, and he
Yeah.
stopped. Somebody had said knight b4. Yes, I mean knight b4 is a very visible problem. Queen doesn't want to rotate to b1, so he stops that. Now, after this, I complete my castling.
Castling.
Again,
And finally
castling
you
is not
got
only completing. Finally, I got to castling, yes. And castling is not only completing development, it's also indirectly hinting like, oh no, I have something on f5. There is something. And
Mhm.
it's you're going to see what is going to come later after that. Stay tuned. Knight into e7,
7.
queen into e7. So as you can see now, my development is nearly complete. Because
Mhm.
with castling, my king went to safety. Castling also completed development. And also the rook, let's just assume that it is developed because it's actually
Correct.
attacking
Because
f3.
there is no pawn on f7, fortunately.
Definitely. And all I need to see now, where does this rook belong? I'm
Mhm.
not going to maybe immediately decide where it goes. And there's a reason, because my opponent could maybe think he'll castle on the queen side. And after he castles there, my rook will belong somewhere on these three files. If he decides, no, I'll castle on the king side, my rook definitely belongs somewhere here to create the center. So I just did not immediately go with it. Clearly, first thing first,
Mhm.
white needs to decide where to move that queen. So he moved the queen to c1. And after this, I gave a good thought to the position. And starting here, once again, I gave a thought. I felt like, this position, something has gone wrong for white. Yes, definitely something has gone wrong. If you look at the position, for
Yeah,
one
it
pawn,
looks
he's
very, very
struggling so
bad.
much.
Means these pieces I don't really like they are stuck in first three lines, means first three ranks, and you are like having everything open, like you can do whatever you want. Full freedom is there.
Yes, full freedom. I have everything going perfectly for me. Now, initially, I thought I will just complete development. He's clearly not castling that style. Complete development. I will look out to one more thing. I'll show you. I'll look out to this creating knight d3 chance. At the most, I
Mhm.
have at least achieved equality. Meaning, I have at least not. I'm not going to be worse, even though I'm a pawn down because of the activity I have with my pieces. I'll show you one more nice maneuver that I
Mhm.
can try
Ah,
with things like this, a beautiful night maneuver, something again that we should keep looking out to. Maneuvers, improving your pieces to better squares, right exchanges, but don't only focus on exchanges. Try to keep your opponent in his shackles, like don't let him maneuver or improve his position.
mhm.
So this is another thing that I was looking at. But then I gave it a good thought. I spent like, this is a time you should definitely give a good thought and see what you should actually like. You can try to go further and see if you can make something most of it. Give
Ah,
this a good thought. And after this, I calculated quite deep. I went quite deep and I was quite impressed with the way I calculated myself. That's why I said I was quite fresh.
mhm.
And I nearly calculated like we'll see. Whatever I saw after this, right, I have actually seen before. So
Oh,
it was like from this point, I have seen very deep. It could be even like I've seen until like, 18, sorry, not 18, 14, 15 moves. It was just a good day for me. I could see
oh
very
my God.
clearly in multiple
14
variations.
moves you have calculated.
Yes, I mean, it's possible to do that. It's not impossible for anybody to do that, especially on a good day. And
Okay.
generally, you see, like, Grandmaster do calculate more, like in that sense. You have to, otherwise, there's something that should differentiate. So you do see calculation, that thing. And I rely more on this. So I'm not an opening kind of guy. I rely more on calculation,
Mm-hmm.
understanding, and creative differences. So I went with knight a5. And this point on, I had a lot of choices. I told you, right? Knight e5. This is one thing where people struggle. Okay, whenever you have many choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can do this also. I can do that also. Which one to choose? Both look good. You could not come to a conclusion. So this is a point even I sometimes struggle with, because choices makes it difficult. You're making a choice, one ice cream or the other, like just like that here. Which one do we choose? So you have to make a decision and stick with it. Be confident in your decision. For the
Mm-hmm.
younger people who are just starting, or even people who are taking up chess new,
Mm-hmm.
see that if you're making decisions, this is where people come to time trouble. Spend too much time making a decision only, and that decision, they don't make a decision. Finally, because they are low on time, they take the first thing which they think is okay and just go with it. Just make a decision, be confident. Okay, I will do this and I will do this no matter what. No matter how many issues I have during the stream, I will go ahead with the stream. That is what you need to be. Just be like Atul. Atul is a good example of this. So he takes a decision and he stands for it. So after knight a5,
You are
bishop
you are
d1.
very kind to talk about those things about me.
Uh, it's a truth. I'm just highlighting the truth here, Atul. And after bishop d1, what is happening is next step. See, knight a5 is threatening what? Knight b3.
Knight b3, yeah.
There is a triple fork here. So to stop it, white went bishop d1. Now what? He's going to castle. And this is what I was going to tell you. Make the most of it. What did I do? I put my bishop on d3, stop him from castling.
Yeah.
After this, things are keeping on getting exciting. Now white needs to get there, right? White cannot keep here in the center.
I had one move in my mind, but it is unfortunately not working. I thought like king f2 and do artificial castle, but the knight is jumping on g4 square.
Exactly. That is exactly what I have seen here. And this is where I will go a little deeper and show you something interesting here. Knight g4.
Yeah.
King here. Now I can go to the point of even just ignoring this piece hanging and just play rook at a8. Just to highlight a point to you. Why exactly? If he captures f into g4, right? The king is so vulnerable with the amount of pieces I have. Even if I give one small check like this,
queen b7, yeah,
the king is not really running anywhere good. So all these pieces are not even there in the game for the defense. It's just one rook there, and maybe the bishop on d1 supporting a little bit. But if you go here, we have a beautiful mate on f1, backline.
All the pieces are just like the spectators on the board. Nothing like
exactly.
Nothing more than that.
If he decides to come here, I can go queen into h1, winning the exchange, and I am threatening a mate soon. Although I could also try things like this, going for an immediate mate on the board. That would also be interesting to go. But basically what I'm trying to highlight here is, even though I'm a piece down, white just doesn't have the pieces in the right spots. They're not there for the defense.
Correct.
They're not there at the main center point. So rook e8 is attacking this, and this is just an example. It's not the best move, just an example. I can also do queen b7, supporting that knight, but pinning and attacking f3. Now, what happens if my opponent just ignores and plays h3 here? I have another good move here. f3 is under attack, right? I can try to exploit that by playing knight b3.
Oh my
beautiful,
God.
right?
Yeah, beautiful.
Because what am I doing? I'm deflecting the bishop on d1. More pieces on the other side. My knight on a5
yeah, now
is
queen
just a
f3
deflection.
will come, and then it's a mate.
And it's just a mate on the board.
It's very beautiful
so
mate. Like if this happens on the board, then I will be very happy.
Yeah. But this is exactly what I was trying to tell you. Like the way the game is proceeding, some of these things, like most of these things, I had seen beforehand only. Let's see, he decides to defend the pawn with e4. Again, I have a beautiful move here. I will play queen b6, sacrificing, leaving that knight alone because I want to go for a mate here. Oh. Yes. If he captures the knight, what happens is my queen enters on f2.
Yeah.
And
bishop
here
f1,
again, I can...
Bishop f1?
Yes, I can go with bishop f1 and rook into f1, queen into f1. Now, at this point, I don't even need to calculate further. I mean, I can stop it because the king is walking somewhere
Yeah, but king
alienated. He
h4,
has
king h4. Okay, you don't calculate, but on king h4, like I don't see any particular check. Like how will
there
we
is no
finish?
particular check in this, but even if I play a move like h6, just to highlight a point to you, where is the king going to go? It's going to be very difficult for him to actually survive in this position. I'll show
Yeah,
you better moves also, like they could be like queen g2
maybe
can be played trying
rook
to.
f2. Okay, queen g2. Okay, huh.
Rook f2 is even better. Yes, I'm getting to what you were saying. Rook f2 is even better because rook f2 is directly threatening a mate. Clearly, he has to move the pawn, and then the rook
Then
can go to
again, rook
h2
h2.
with
Yeah,
the
correct.
queen h3 idea. This is even better. You have a mate straight away. But my point being, like, even if you enter this position, looking at the king itself, I think it's going to be very difficult for white to hold on. Like just playing even moves like this, he's struggling. I have
Yeah,
another move which
his
is
pieces are not even coming in the game. It's like
ex-
the two hills are there. There is a bridge, and the bridge is broken. Nobody can go anywhere.
exactly. Now let's say I'm thinking like, okay, I don't have a mate. I can even go to the point because white is behind. I can go to the point of bringing my knight for maneuvering and trying to mate him. Again, not the best move, but something that you can do. And you get the liberty. The king is on h4 like this without any support of his pieces. Yeah.
So
So pawn a1 out of the game.
this will be like a king hunt.
Exactly. It's like a king hunt right here, and the king has done a lot of running around to the edge of the board where it's now cornered, and it has no pieces around it to defend it.
Guys,
So
I just want to say, like, if you are enjoying the way Anurag is playing in this game, the way he's explaining, do like the stream, and let's see whether we can reach more people, and more people will be benefited from Anurag's knowledge and his beautiful game. I'm really enjoying. That's why I'm not taking the questions from the chat, because personally I'm enjoying all the analysis which he is showing.
definitely, glad you like the analysis. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everybody else also has this. By the way, guys, we'll be answering questions soon, so
Yeah.
stay tuned. And coming here, I wanted to highlight something instructive here. King trying to run away, that's a good thing. You're trying to artificially castle the king. This, by the way, is called artificially taking the king to safety rather than castling, but not really working here. So what white did, he brought his knight back. Again, he's trying to make the best of it, trying to castle, but I should not forget one more thing. My knight on a5 also, he has done two things. He has opened up castling and my knight on a5 is also hanging. And this is where, right, the point which I played here onwards, right, is something that I had calculated beforehand only, like I was saying like a long time back, with knight a5, bishop d3. That time only I had seen all of this. I just needed to verify once in this just to see that I'm not going wrong and going too carried away. But it was very nice after this. Like I think the engine, I don't know what he suggests, but I had a nice variation here. I played queen b7, not that difficult to spot. And actually, if you look at this game with the engine, right? When you look at it, when I went home and I checked this, the engine suddenly said the white is better here. At first, like I was like, oh no, oh, okay.
Really?
Then my calculation was wrong. Like,
But
I've made a
how
mistake.
can it be good for a white? Sometimes I don't agree with the engines.
I know, but that's what I said. Like I'm playing with my own knowledge, and I'm happy with the way I've calculated. I am impressed, and I go home, and engine is telling me, no, you're doing something wrong here. So I was like, okay, then maybe I made a mistake in my calculation somewhere. Engine was showing something like, I think crazy moves only, but something we'll see in the game. Knight g4, and I think it was knight b3 and or bishop into e2, something like that. Bishop into e2. The idea is simple, guys. If he captures, knight b3 is a fork.
Yeah,
this is one way. And if he captures with the king is in the center. Maybe the knight can come back, knight d4. White is still in problems, and it will always be in problems in this setup. But I had other ideas, and I was happy with the way I played. I played queen b7. And after knight f4, like he played in the game, my opponent also felt a little relieved, kind of like. I was like, maybe I was happy with my guy. I was not concerned about what he was feeling relieved about, but I was concerned about the engine telling me like, no, this is not working. So I went through with my variation. This is crazy. At knight b3, this move engine said I'm lost already. Like the engine was saying like I was lost after this. I was like, okay, then maybe somewhere I made a mistake. I still went on to win. And this is the crazy part. This started like, 3 or 4 moves earlier. That's the beauty of this. I have seen all this before. Bishop into b3, queen into f3.
Yeah.
Now to explain this.
Yeah. I had a question. Like now, like there will be some sacrifice. Means rook, knight g4, queen f2 checkmate threat is there. Rook f4, queen e2 checkmate is there. Some checkmates are there, right?
We will be getting there soon, Atul, yes.
Okay,
But
okay.
before we start with it, there will be many ways to continue in this position. And what I'm saying is there's a small tip to people who have started. If you cannot calculate this tip, definitely many of you will not be able to calculate. Choose the variation which is most simple. Simply don't enter a variation which is exciting. It's exciting to play knight b3, but if you're not sure, and like the engine says, Mr. Engine says bishop into e2, stockfish or whatever it was that time, bishop into e2 and continue, and you're feeling good enough, then go with it. Go with the variation which you feel is winning. Then you can come home and test your calculation at home, check whether you're actually that variation which you think was working. Now, why I went with knight b3 or why I went with the variation I played in the game? Because I was sure of it in the game. I was confident in my choice. And Engine was not confident in me, unfortunately. So after knight b3, bishop into b3, he gave me a shock saying that, I'm minus. I captured queen into f3 and rook g1. Again, I have seen all this. This is the point. I've seen all this, and this is the beauty of it. Next move, he was showing knight e4. Now, this also I had calculated everything. Knight e4. I again checked out. In this point of the game, again, I checked out whether it was knight e4, which is better. But I had other ideas, and beforehand only I trained. That's why I was very impressed with this. Knight g4. This is the killer move in the game.
Now,
Engine suddenly said,
queen f2, no.
Is one idea.
Rook f4, queen e2 is also one of the ideas.
Yes, rook f4, queen e2 is one of the ideas. A lot of ideas have opened up, and I have sacrificed one piece down. I'm one piece down yet, plus a pawn. Pawn I have won back. One piece down at the moment. So
but I somehow feel like he is queen down, rook down.
Queen down and
rook down. It feels like that. I'm saying, like, he is not able to get the pieces in the game.
Yes. He's not able to make pieces. He's not able to bring the pieces into the game as quickly as possible. But here the funny part starts. Now, Engine was saying plus initially, right? He went to equal. And after knight into d3, it took a long time for him to find out the move that I played in the game, which I was already looking for a while ago. I'm not saying anything about the Engine here, but the Engine was taking time to find this next move.
Maybe we can ask this move to viewers, like what...
We can definitely ask the viewers.
Guys, can you
find out what move I must have played here
in this position? Because the move which you played is a cool move, cool.
It's a cool move, and actually, right, I don't know, maybe now engines are much stronger and they will definitely find it, but
Shriyansh has given the move knight e3.
Knight into e3, yes, that is the move. C into d3 is not possible.
Because there is a pin now. There is a pin there. Yeah.
So the pawn cannot move. King h8 is very nice, Krishnan, but King h8 is overly ambitious. If I play this, then I maybe if this is working, then I think it will be crazy if I send King h8. Now, mainly, right, when we're seeing as humans, we will look at more creative, immediate, especially in a variation like this, we'll look at more happening moves. If King h8 is an Engine move, because it's suddenly playing something out of the blue where there is nothing happening. It's very difficult to find such a move if it was working. Nevertheless, it may not be working. The moves I was looking for is rook e8, trying to immediately hit on this. And none of these works, by the way. Everything I had seen here, none of these works because white has a defense here with bishop d1 in time. And now he eliminates everything that I have on the board. I have nothing after this. So this next move...
Unfortunately for him, the knight on d3, which is hanging, actually it is saving everything.
It's saving everything and holding everything together. So no matter even if I try something exciting, there is nothing. I'm too many pieces down. I have nothing left to make my opponent with. So I went with knight into e3, the beauty and this of the game. The best move, I'll say, best calculation I ever done in my life, definitely. Knight e5 was Engine's suggestion. This is something that, Engine was suggesting for some reason, knight e5. And he was saying it is equal. Okay. Somebody said knight e5. Knight into e3 is the move that I played. So once I played this move, right, I thought I must have missed something or blundered something, which I thought I was very confident. The moment I played it, Engine suddenly went from, I think it was -4, -5, -6. Suddenly, Engine has gone to that level. So once I played the move, Engine realized that, okay, this definitely is now working. I'm not saying I'm better than the Engine. Okay, maybe the Engines were slightly not looking at it in that direction. Because if you look at the position here, it's a triple piece sacrifice here. And I had this on the channel also about the same. I think a video on the channel about the same. But if you see, 3 pieces down, but the beauty of the position is the king is in the center. And my rooks will be joining soon. White's pieces, unfortunately, the main pieces.
I am somehow feeling like we are looking at some Morpheus game.
Yeah, exactly. Even I was impressed with the calculation here, actually. And I was very disappointed when I saw that the Engine was showing me that it is not working. But when I played 93, suddenly I realized, oh, now when I went back like this and I checked, right,
Mhm.
The moves that I played earlier were definitely the best moves in the position
Yeah.
after that point. So I
Yeah,
was very
from
impressed.
humans perspective and a very creative perspective, I think this is the best you can play.
Definitely. I was very impressed with this myself. Like, so the way I played, to be honest, like that's the best, definitely. And the point is, it's not over here because
Mhm.
after this, also, I'm going to win a couple of pieces back, but still 3 pieces down. It's more
Mhm.
like a queen. So if white is able to rectify all his problems here after this, then basically my variation is a fail. And that's why the point after this also was very important. And after rook e8, once I played knight into e3, by the way, the reaction by my opponent was shocking. I think he completely missed it, and he did not think of this.
Mhm.
And now, by this time, maybe I had 15 minutes, and he had like 50 minutes. I think,
Mhm.
like the situation on the time on the clock, and this was time well spent because you see what has happened on the board.
Correct,
My
correct.
opponent took a lot of time to come up with a variation, but finally, I think he could not. There was nothing that was working. Everything was going south. So he went with bishop e3 and went with bishop c4, his best practical choice. But this also I had seen. He's giving up a piece. He needs to give something, right? He needs to get his king to safety, king stuck. So one check, I took it. He captured with the queen, and
Mhm.
now just king h8. Again, this
Correct.
point is also very important. What I had to verify whether I'm missing something. Some knight is coming in between. Some king is running away. I had calculated all this, and believe me, I did that when I played that move, knight
Mm.
a5 on move 22nd or 21st, whatever.
Mm.
So
Really,
I was,
this
yeah,
thing, this
exactly.
position you
That's why I
saw.
was very happy. Yes, I had seen this that time only. That's why I was impressed. It's not like I was just going through random variations. I must have spent like 20, 25, 30 minutes on the position. And
Mhm.
randomly, I was calculating multiple things. This was one idea which had come to my mind. See, every time an idea cannot be like perfect, like every move will work the same way it is. But an idea comes to your mind, what I can do. Now, what
Mhm.
I need to do after playing a few moves is verify whether that idea actually works. An idea like that comes on the board. Pattern recognition. Patterns, you see that then and calculate until here perfectly. Of course, I cannot completely trust myself and maybe I'm missing one move. Something could happen, which is there at the back of my mind, which I was verifying every step by step.
Mhm.
But the calculation was done at night if I was like happy with that. Okay.
King
So
D2 move,
after
yeah.
this, King D2 also I had seen. Yes, King D2 was the most basic, the first thing I would see
Try
because
to
it's
run
trying to
away,
run
just
away.
run away, yeah.
Yeah, but this I'd seen, and now I just capture queen into e3,
Mhm.
winning my second piece back, and now the final blow, rook c8,
Rook C8,
which is
yeah.
winning the queen. So
Queen.
although I sacrificed 3 pieces, I've ended up in a position where if he just loses the queen, I will be like queen for rook and knight. Meaning, if you
Mhm.
think of it, once the queen goes, queen for rook and knight, which is definitely winning for me easily. And the king is walking right away in the center. Until here, I'd seen. After this, also, I played accurately. Like after this, he played b3, and I went with. I didn't capture the queen. I went
Yeah,
even
no
perfectly
need to
with rook
capture right
f8.
now, right? You
Right
can
now, no
wait.
need to capture. You can
Mhm.
wait. Let him capture because if he captures, then I can capture back. The king will have to leave his knight
Then the knight will be
alone.
hanging in that
Yes,
case. Correct.
exactly. Everything. And I think it's time for him to resign here itself. So I went with rook f8. Now, what is this doing? It's actually hinting at that same idea.
Rook
It's
D3 is
attacking the
also
knight.
there. Queen D3 is there. Means we can just capture the knight.
Yeah. So if he tries to, do this, then I can even go to the point of capturing queen into d3 based on
Yes.
the fact that, so many pins on the board. Perfectly working fine.
Yeah.
Second thing, what he did in the game, he played rook d1. And here also, this one, of course, I had not seen beforehand in the 22 this. I had seen all this until rook c8. So here also, there is a small sneaky trick. Final try by my opponent. I'll show you what it is. Tempting to go rook into c4. First tactic that came to my mind, definitely.
Mhm.
And then once he captures, I will capture the
Okay.
rook,
Queen
right?
G1 is not coming because Rook D8 is a check and mate. Cool,
Exactly.
cool.
One last straw, you have to definitely keep going, right? So one last straw by my opponent. If I go for this, then if I capture this, I cannot capture rook into d3. The game might prolong a little longer. But if
Mhm.
I capture rook into d3, now I'm not even winning. I'm losing because I can't capture the rook because of the mate. And if I move
And
my queen back, he's having 2 rooks for the queen, which is definitely better for him.
correct,
So
correct.
final straw using the pin, queen d4 check.
Chess picks pre is talking about Rook into C4, Queen D4, Rook C4. Yes, exactly.
That's exactly what I did in the game. Queen d4 check. And I think he resigned at this point only, or he replayed one move and then I think he resigned at this point.
Yeah.
Because no matter what he does, for example, he goes here. I
Then
can just
also
take
Rook
rook into
C4,
c4.
BC4, Queen C4, and I think the D3 knight is going to fall.
Yes, exactly. So he cannot really hold on to it. I capture.
Yeah,
I
correct.
capture again. This time, no back rank.
No
I try
background.
one more thing, but before he back rank commits me, I probably will
I think rook
mate.
b3 followed by, yeah, this is also
Rook
good. Yeah,
d2 also
yeah,
is, I
yeah,
think,
rook
better.
d2 is
Queen
also
b3. I think there will be many ways to win. I
that the
think I
many
play
ways
rook
to win.
d2,
Yeah,
and we should
check
have a
out.
mate on the board before he does anything of his sort. So he resigned here, I think. And if he tries,
Where?
by the way, king b4, one last thing we'll see,
Mm-hmm.
trying to walk the king. Again, very far away here. We have a mate pattern here with rook into c4
And
and
rook
rook,
b8 and rook
sorry,
b8
rook
b8.
b8.
Correct.
And I think if he goes to a4, we can, I think, we can
Queen
go with queen
c4,
d7 and
queen d7 you were talking about. Okay.
queen c4 will not be the
Knight
fastest
b4,
mate. Or
knight
the queen
b4 is
b4 also is a mate. Yes, I was
no.
looking at queen d7
Mm-hmm.
followed by rook b5, and he
Oh,
captures, then queen b5 is a
wow,
mate.
wow.
And if he captures a6, then this is a mate.
I,
This is one
I
pattern.
somehow feel like in this game you try to just sacrifice everything and
Yes,
everything
exactly.
worked out
It
very well
worked
for
out.
you.
Exactly. That's why I was happy, right? Because it worked out. It worked out perfectly. I was trusting my entire calculation here. I will show you
Mhm.
one more. Queen into c4, knight here, rook into b4, and queen a2 mate. Again,
Queen
these are all
a2.
patterns. Once you know all the patterns, then it's very easy to go about the position. It works perfectly well for
Yeah,
us.
very
So this
beautiful
was the
game.
game.
I really enjoyed this game. Like the calculation was phenomenal. The way you said, guys, just to want to tell you this thing that at this position, this is like uh, 35th move, okay? And
This position, yes, I told you. This is the
yeah,
position I think I'd seen until, yeah.
yeah, rook c8, 32nd move is there. And Anurag actually calculated whole thing when he played knight to a5. So this was the 21st move and 34. So like almost 14 moves he calculated from this move onwards. Like it is incredible calculation, I will say. Like
Somehow I was feeling very fresh and I felt like, I should go with my instinct here. Okay. I was trusting myself.
Mikhail Tal, proud student, they're saying.
So it's not like
Yeah.
I replay like Mikel Tal, but that is this is one thing which I was very impressed with the calculus. Like one of the best things, at least in game setting, right, that has worked out perfectly, and I could calculate that deeply, very precisely. It worked out. Like there will be times when sometimes you miss one move and then the variation is wrong, but here somehow everything fell in place perfectly.
Correct,
And
correct.
it's not like that's the only variation. See, after knight a1, bishop d1, and I played queen b7. It's not like, sorry, I played bishop d3, knight e2, and then I played here
Queen
onwards. I
b7.
started
Queen
with
b7 is also very
queen
interesting.
b7. It's not like he can only play knight f4 and all, right? But knight f4 was the most expected one. He can also castle. And by the way, for castle, I was thinking to go for this variation, which is knight b3, bishop b3, and bishop e2.
Uh,
Now, rook f2 means I can go with
Bishop,
cb3 also. I just want to show
Bishop
this point to
f3
you.
is also there, I think.
This is also good enough because what is happening here is, although I have won my pawn back, although I'm not immediately crushing him and beating him, is look at his dark squares and look at his bishop. Look at the amount of things he has in the light squares. Look at the queen and rook. I should be definitely better. I was happy with this, but like Atul is saying, more precise to go with bishop f3 and then followed up with knight g4 or knight e4. I think that should be immediately crushing for my opponent to deal with. I think my opponent must have calculated all this in the next 30, like he was calculating for a while here and there, but I think he was very happy after knight f4. He played it and got up and went, and like I had already seen knight b3. I took my time again. It's not like I was blitzing on autopilot. No? I was also taking time, but I had seen all that beforehand. I was every time like checking whether I made a mistake somewhere, I missed something, but I was confident in the way I played it. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Very,
Atul,
yeah, like very, like beautiful game, I will say. And I would like to have some questions from the viewers here because,
yes,
like,
definitely.
maybe for next 10 minutes we'll talk about the other things and some questions from the viewers. So, guys, you can ask your questions, and I will definitely ask those questions to Anurag here. And Kevin
Yes.
was asking, like, he wanted to ask. Yes, Kevin, you can definitely ask. And yeah, Kevin had like, okay, also have a doubt. Okay, how to.
Okay, I remember a few questions
Yeah, yeah.
that I
I'll.
asked earlier.
Okay. You remember?
And just one question I will answer in general, like, to somebody had asked it, it doesn't matter. I'll answer in general. The point was about fitness. Somebody had asked about fitness.
Yeah,
What to do
correct.
for
How do you
fitness.
like fitness? I think he was Deepak Maheshwari asked that question. Yeah.
Yes. So fitness is also a very important part. See, to calculate all this, right, you have to know to how to keep your focus, like keep cool, keep focused, and be focused on the entire part to go that deep. So this is one important point that chess players always ignore. But now if you see at the top level also, if you
Mhm.
saw the listen the Olympiad, how they were doing it, they were having a lot of fitness sessions. So fitness is an important part we should not ignore. It doesn't matter if you play a few outdoor games, you do a little workout at home, you do yoga, meditation, whatever you do, but fitness is an important thing in chess, which even the young kids should try to have. And kids don't need to do anything specific. Just eat well and maybe play some outdoor games. Don't only sit on the computer and play with those computer games. If you do that, then that is another drawback, because chess players anyway sit on the board continuously. Fitness, I do maintain a good fitness and diet, let's say decent diet. Not, I'm not extremely fit right now, but I'm saying like I do maintain a good amount of fitness. And during the tournaments and all, I do tend to ensure that that is one important part of the day. Let's say for me, fitness, keeping good, keep myself fit. I should be fresh. If I'm fresh, I can do anything. If I'm not fresh, then I don't think I would have been able to calculate. So
Okay,
that day I was
just
extremely
a
fresh.
curious question, like the viewers, like what like exercises do you play any sport, or you do just gym kind of a thing?
Well, I used to do only gym kind of thing. Sports, okay, it is to not match with my friends to play table tennis, but I should like to play table tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I have not tried badminton and all that for fitness. But the few things that I used to do, I'll tell you, I used to go cycling. That's one
Mm-hmm.
thing, or running on the beach, or running anywhere. Was one more thing I used to do. And definitely, yeah, fitness in the gym. I used to go to the gym earlier. Now, recently, pandemic, we have not gone, but I used to
Correct.
go to the gym. Yeah.
Okay.
And overall, during the tournaments, nothing. I don't go for cycling and all. Some people even do that. They go
Mm-hmm.
for fitness runs in the morning. I don't think that is needed. Just, but at home, little bit breathing exercises. See that you're stretching a little bit. Blood flow is good in all parts of your body, and that is good enough.
Yeah, Kevin had one question like how to find or make a successful tactics or attack to destroy your opponent. What do you think about
Uh,
it? Like
Successful tactics will come with you solving
the
positions,
way
analyzing.
you played in this game, like you need to be intuitive, or like you have to calculate everything. Like what is the process?
I think it's important to value both
Mm-hmm.
intuitive as well as this, because see, I'm not an engine. I have
Mm-hmm.
not seen everything on paper. So intuitively, I have to trust my instincts. Over time, you can practice by solving positions. Push yourself 5, then 6, or it can start with 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 moves, 8 moves. Like that, you can try to push and slowly increase. One thing is, there is no shortcut, so don't expect 1 month of doing this and getting there. This, this is me playing chess after so many years. I've had such a calculation thing happening on the board. This was in 2016 when I was 5 years younger than what I am right now. So I'm 25 and I was 20 years old. So you can see that over a period of 14 years, I have got such a calculation thing. You can definitely work specifically on calculation by the way I told you, 3, 4, 5. But there are other factors for such kind of things, like such kind of the way I played to work. Calculation is one,
Just one
pattern
minute, huh?
recognition is another.
Anurag, I'll just come back. Just 1 minute. You
Yeah,
continue.
okay. I will continue with it. So, pattern recognition, like knowing a few mating patterns, knowing a few tactical patterns. Why we solve positions is not only to improve calculation, it also helps us get acquainted with patterns. For example, I told you knight b3 and queen f3. It's just a pattern. So for me now, since I have been playing for so long and solving such patterns regularly, also teaching, teaching also I focus on such things, then it becomes automatic. For me, this is not a big thing to find such a pattern. For me, it's not a big thing to immediately find such a pattern. It's there in my mind that such a thing can happen. When you're learning or starting, the main problem for most of you is you don't know that such a thing happens, that such a thing is possible. And that is where looking at inspirational games, Bob Fischer, Mikhail Tal, Kasparov, Anand, everybody's these games that you follow, their games, you get to get across or come across such patterns, and you can use them maybe in your own game. But you cannot do one and see that. Okay? You cannot do one and say, I took a driving test and I learned driving in one day, and it will come over a period of time. You learn new things every time, and that's where you should look at games regularly, solve tactics regularly, and eventually it will come to you. Don't worry about it. It's an automatic process. You cannot get bored. There is no getting bored. Yeah, there is no getting bored here. You have to push yourself. So chess is sometimes boring, but you have to find that thing. See that you're motivated enough and push yourself. Otherwise, it will not really work out. Any questions, like somebody else has? It will work over time. Okay, like attack. Just don't think of it like, I will work for 30 days on attack and I'll be an attacking master and I'll be Mikhail Tal. That will not really happen. Every aspect of the position is tested when you also doing an attack. Here, pattern recognition,
Yeah,
creativity,
I'm back.
many things
So,
come.
sorry, Anurag. Okay, sorry.
No, no, no worries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my mom was like calling me many times, so I had to go. Okay, here. Did I interrupt?
No, no, no. It's perfectly fine.
Okay, okay.
I was just telling them about. I was trying to answer some questions that people had said. By the way, over the boat tournaments also somebody had asked earlier. Not
Yeah,
yet
yeah,
started, so maybe we'll see. We'll see whenever they start. Definitely, at least in India. Maybe abroad they have already started, and we'll see
yeah.
some action about that
And
soon.
Sudarshan is talking about like rechecking again and again. Like he always had has that feeling that he must have missed something. Like yeah, it happens with many people, right, Anurag?
Yes, definitely something that I told you at the start only.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you need to get rid of. Like this is the main cause, what you're saying, Sudarshan, for the time trouble issues or time trouble woes that people have. Not confident in your own choices. See, you have to understand one thing. It's 1 hour 30, or it could be 30 minutes, depending on what game you play on the clock. If you keep rechecking, you have to spend more than what is required for that particular time, and you're not showing confidence. So you have to decide, like, you have to make up your mind, okay, I'm going to go ahead with what choice I've made. It doesn't work out fine, like, you learn something, but you cannot say, like, I will verify to the dot. See, you rechecking 10 times will not change. I'm not saying you should not recheck, though. You should recheck, but keep a limit. 2 times, okay, I did not get it, leave it, move along to the next one. You have to develop this habit. If you keep rechecking, the same thing will apply in your life also. One ice cream, oh, okay, ice cream, this one, no, this not tasty. Okay, I'll go for another one. See, that will keep happening everywhere. So if you change that attitude only, okay, I'm going to recheck only twice. I'll make my decision 2 times. If it
Mm-hmm.
is not the best ice cream I have, that doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with it. That's it. You know, to make up your mind. This is when I fixed, right, this problem. I
Miss,
started handling no
in a
time
way,
trouble
Anurag,
woes.
you are saying like in general, you need to take decisions so that you will take better decisions at the board.
Yes. You in general, yes, important point. Very nicely said, Atul. Like, general life, you take good decisions, you will take better decisions on the board. It will reflect on the board. In
Ah,
general, if you're like a little bit worried about, like, making a decision everywhere, that will reflect on the board and you will have time trouble problems. If you
ah,
fix that problem in general life also, you will improve your time trouble problems. That
okay.
also. But if you want to keep as a, like, you want to improve and you don't know how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
follow my like thing. Recheck, keep a limit. I'll recheck only thrice, no more. So if I
Mm-hmm.
can't come to a conclusion, doesn't matter. I'll make that mistake. I will lose this game. I will take this thing next time. I'll calculate better and try to recheck 3 times and finish it. I'll make it a habit. Because if you promote a bad habit once, it'll keep promoting and you'll never improve your time trouble problem. Okay, so this is something
Okay.
I followed. Limit.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Shreyansh is asking this question two times. I think when I used to be 1400 rapid, I think he's talking about chess.com rating. My attack would always work from white after long castle, but now I'm 2500 rapid online. My attack rarely works. How to make my attack work at this level? Okay.
That's what I told you. You'll have to supplement this with all other things. See, you have to understand, once you get to a higher level, your opponents also are equally good, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like you're only the stronger player. So you have to outwit your opponent. And that is where not always does this kind of play work, right? You cannot always finish your game in a tactical way with an attack. Your attack could maybe just give you a small advantage, a bishop pair. As you get stronger, this is what is important. The
Means
Grandmaster game, you will not see like always
positional play
things.
will be more like into play, I think, at higher level, because I have played also against many strong players, and tactics like they don't come quite usually the way it came in your game. It happens very rarely, but most of the time it is accumulating small advantages and getting something bigger from it, right?
Yes, Atul, like if you had time, I would want to show also a small position from the second game that I
Yeah, yeah, sure,
shared
sure,
with you.
sure,
That will show the
sure.
positional aspect of it.
Yeah,
So
I'll
if you could
just
load that game for me, then
yeah, yeah, just 1 minute. I'll just get the game. Guys, one more game. Okay.
no, we're not going to look at the game. We're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
look at a small
that
position.
small position. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you are right, right? I'll just flip the board. Yeah, it is flipped.
Yeah. So in this position, in this game, right, I want
Mm-hmm.
to go only to one point of the game,
Mm-hmm.
which is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, forget about the opening and everything. I will go to this position and highlight the positional aspect of it. Again, this is Sedlak Nikola. This he's a strong GM from Serbia,
Mm-hmm.
and this was in Roquetas Open in Spain.
Uh,
2017, I believe.
mhm.
So here I played like normally what would you want to do? You want to get your rook and the open develop, maybe rook here and develop. And what does black do? If anybody plays King's Indian or structure similar to it, you see a strong bishop, you see a
Correct.
couple of squares, you want to take
C6.
control of it. So C6 is
C6.
normally played in this position.
Correct.
And white will try to maybe hit on this square,
Mhm.
etc. The game goes on. Now I chose a different move to this though. And this is the positional part I was trying to get to. Now
Knight
this move
B5.
doesn't do anything.
Mhm.
It's not even recommended, I don't know, by the engine, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point of this move, it's not even having any idea. If they see it, it's not attacking here, it's not attacking here, it's not threatening anything, it's not doing anything.
Mhm.
But it does something in return. And what it is trying to do is, if my opponent plays C6, I can immediately get to D6, which is definitely a good thing for me, right? Nobody
Correct.
would want
Correct.
to immediately allow me to go to C6.
It will be like, as I talk about these things with the kids, like we call it octo night, like octopus night.
Octopus Knight, yes, definitely. Completely dominating on d6, and
Yeah.
definitely a good outpost or square for the knight to be on. So black will not want to allow that. So in order to not allow that, that is where the problem lies. So this move doesn't accomplish anything by itself. It's trying to see that, white, if black wants to take control of the d6 square, let's say he plays rook d8 so that he can play c6. I will get
Mhm.
my rook into the game with rook d1. Again, same problem comes over. d6 again can be hit by my knight.
Mhm.
So to fix this problem, what does black do? He plays a6.
A6. Yeah. Correct.
And I came back coolly with my knight to c3. Now this seems like silly, right? When you go here to b5 and then come back to c3, what have you accomplished?
Mhm.
Again, what you accomplish is, after you see what black might do in the game, you have
Mhm.
promoted him to play a6, and you know that c6 is a good move for black to
Mhm.
control. What has he done though? In return, he has created two holes for me to exploit later. So this again is not tactical in nature. This is a small positional
Positional
weakness that
edges.
I have got on the board. That's why this move, although engines like don't really appreciate such moves, but you get the point of it. After
Yeah.
knight c3,
Correct.
c6, you have a couple of extra weaknesses. And based on these extra weaknesses, I went on to win the game. And I will show you a quick look at the game. I'll show you what he did. He played f5 here because
Mhm.
clearly you don't want to immediately make a weakness.
Correct.
So he
Correct.
played f5.
Mhm.
I played knight d5. And now you see the point, right? Now when I put my knight on d5, if he plays c6, I have an additional hole. But if I go back and I play knight d5 right away here, I have to come back. And I didn't get anything in return. Knight cannot go further. So knight b5 is a positional move trying to initiate a weakness. So I wanted to highlight that point. So not always do tactics work. Sometimes some such positional things
Mhm.
definitely work better. And this again was a very positional game after this. Although it was not very happening, it was just based on simple play. Like I just want to show you quickly c6
I,
and this.
I
See,
think
black
like
is
you have very like means his bishop is not moving anywhere that much because
exactly.
all the pawns are on the light squares.
Exactly. He has not much in the position. Like he cannot do much. So he
Mhm.
tries to do c6 and gets rid of it. Like let's say c6 and then knight here and then rook d8. But what has happened is that d6 is an extra hole for me to exploit.
Correct.
Bishop is extremely bad. So am I going to give my knight away? Never. I'm going to try to open up and make way for my bishop. I'm never going to give it away. Seems
Mhm.
tempting, right? After this, I'll get rook to d7, rook come into the seventh rank. Seems very exciting, but not worth it
Yeah,
because
means your
I have
bishop on
netted is the
J2 is not in the game. That is like the main
exactly.
issue in this position, which I feel.
Exactly. We are not really getting much from this. And that's why F3 open up, and we'll go through it quickly, little bit.
Yeah.
Again, the problem lies in what black is not able to do. He's just struggling. So although he's not immediately lost, he
Mhm.
just doesn't have anything. I just need to improve my pieces slowly without committing unnecessary pawn moves. See, if you think of it, very tempting to do this. Did I do it? No. Maybe I
No.
can do it later, or maybe I might come to a position where I don't need to do it. That's why, if
Mhm.
possible, first improve your pieces.
Pieces.
And we'll take a quick walk. The king came in the game. One pair of rook I exchanged,
Mhm.
and I will show you after this. We don't need to go too detailed into the game. We'll run out of
I
time.
can see that there may be a king walk from your side.
Yes. And see, again, I play knight c8, and I realized that maybe knight d6 he'll play b5. I'm not sure. I was having a slightly less time than my opponent here. What did I
Mhm.
do? I came back. I
Yeah.
retreated back in shame, but I know that, even if I retreat and I lose a little couple of moves, it's okay. I can still, make the most of it later. And that is what you will see here.
King
B4.
A3
I'm
and
slowly putting
slowly
all my
putting
pawns on the dark
dark
squares.
squares.
Bishop light square, pawn dark squares. If you look at my opponent, everything is on the light squares.
It is a perfect like picture like where the opponent's bishop is getting bad slowly and gradually.
Exactly. Slowly and gradually you will exploit. This is good by my opponent. He should try to do something on the board to
Mhm.
create some chance for himself. I defended. I'm not interested in spoiling anything for me. King d8, bishop f1. And the thing is, I was slightly low on time. I will be honest, I was slightly low on time here. I was maybe having 12, my opponent may having 50 minutes. Like that was
Mhm.
the difference. So I didn't want to go for a plan which is immediately. This is also a small point that people can take. Immediately, if you're low on time, right, don't go for a plan which is more finishing.
Mhm.
Like this, there's a blunder, but I want to show you, like, improving immediately. Like, don't go for a plan like, where your opponent could get something in return later. Just to highlight
Mhm.
this, something you should not want to allow anything. So that's why I was just going for the simplest thing possible, not really going
Means
for it.
in time pressure, when the things are not certain, we should play solid moves, the devil like improving moves. Like you played bishop f1, which is in a way like bishop is going to a diagonal, maybe bishop c4 and bishop g8 and pawn on h7. Means you had some ideas like that.
Yes, I had some ideas, and what I'm saying is, like, low on time, what you should try to do is go for solid, double improving moves if possible, but solid moves more. Don't go
Mhm.
for drastic change moves.
Ah,
H3
okay.
G4 is a drastic, it's a big change
Yeah.
where a lot of calculation may be needed, a lot of like something might go wrong. So what you want to do is, you don't want to waste your own time calculating. You
Mhm.
want to try to see if you can gain some of your opponent's time to calculate those things. And it's not necessary to do it urgently, right? It's not a missed opportunity.
Mhm.
If that is the case, it's like, you can do it later also, then keep it for later and see if you can develop some other things and simultaneously calculate. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at ideas, but I'm not wasting my time for it. I'm trying to play moves fast here so that I don't lose too much time on the clock. I'm just making, see, you see why he did g5, because I'm low on time. He knows that, eventually if I play like this, my king will enter and he will have nothing. He'll just, everything will go wrong for him. So what I did is I just tried to slightly improve slowly. And
Mhm.
after this, g5, he only did it for me. He gave me the chance because he's not having much. And after this, king e5, I want to just show the end game part. But this was played well by me because
Yeah,
simple
means
moves,
the
keeping
king
pawns.
walk which you had, like it is like great.
Yeah, it did not have any problem in this. I cannot give
Yeah.
him any chance. I did not make unnecessary things, and I did not spend too much time. I didn't spend too much time and complicate things for myself.
Mhm.
So, like this event with knight g6, I took the pawn, and this is not too difficult. Now, there will be times when you have to go for definitive, like proper things like calculation. Here, I've exchanged pawns, but I know an idea. I
Mhm.
took that pawn. I'm a pawn up simply. I came back one pawn up. I know that this is winning for me. I'm sure. Now I can enter. If you're sure that you're going to win, then you enter it. Wherever it. This year, and I'll show you a nice finish to this game also. He went with knight d5. Basically, black is lost here, and he has kind of given up. So knight d5, he went knight a5, and he captured knight into b4. Can anybody tell me what more I played here? The final blow in the position, and that's it. The game was over.
Yeah, we will wait for the viewers. Guys, can you spot the move which Anurag played here in this position and which eventually like led to a victory, very quick victory. Let's see whether the chat is very fast. I know this thing that they will definitely find out the move.
Definitely yes.
Bishop d7, see Sudarshan but caught
Yes.
it.
Bishop d7, just blocking this king, and there's nothing stopping knight b7 now, where he resigned the game. So that was it. But I wanted to highlight that not always will you have like exciting tactical finishes like the first game I said.
Yeah, but
Sometimes you
sometimes
have to play positionally also.
smooth play also. I really like the way you brought your like king also in the game. Like you just played simple. Like this was a very nice. Just in the end game, the king should come in the game. You kept on getting the pieces on the dark squares, and your king was just playing on the dark square. So it was
Exactly.
beautiful game. Like very smooth and cool game, cool
Exactly.
finish.
This is a point, like somebody asked me, like, how to improve, how will you, no, you will have to get improved on both aspects. So don't ignore your other aspects of the game also, just
Mm-hmm.
because you want to play exciting like Tal and finish it. It will
Mm-hmm.
not work. Your opponents also are equally working like you. So they will also be equally strong. They will not allow that Tal thing to happen. They have also seen Tal's games. They know what is happening and how they can stop that from happening. So you have to
Yeah.
have like both things worked out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions, guys?
Yeah. Is if any question is there, we will definitely take the question, and otherwise we'll stop. We'll see. And yes, Himank, guitar advice. You guys got the answer quite well. Okay, cool. Fearing to go into the main lines, how to avoid it? Maybe that is it's a nice game scene from creating weaknesses. Yes, it was like nice weaknesses were created, and this bishop. I think it must be crying a lot throughout the game, because
Exactly.
in the end also, because finally the like nice thing is like your bishop came on d7 and the game was over.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Those pawns and the bishop on d7 definitely all
yeah,
working
yeah.
unfavorably. By the way, I think
Yeah.
Abhirup was asking you to ask me a question.
Okay, what was the Abhirup's question? Let me check. Sir, how to find imbalances in position quickly and put pressure at that time, at that point? Imbalance. He's talking about imbalances.
No, there is no finding imbalances. You can create imbalances.
Ah,
And later, after the next step after creating imbalances, imbalance is created when you want to play for a win or something. Like you want to create a proper imbalance. For example, d4, d5, c4, c6, c5, c5. It's a symmetrical position. To
mhm.
create an imbalance, you'll have to maybe leave that pawn on c4. Imbalance is creating a chance, like, imbalance is, let's say, bishop for a knight. Those are imbalances. So once you create the imbalances, next step is how to make the most of those imbalances. It could be imbalances continuing with an attack. Imbalance could be you sacrificing a pawn and then making the most of it, like I did in my first game, the pawn sack game, trying to make the most of it right then and there. The imbalance was I was a pawn down. It could be an imbalance with a material difference, queen for two rooks, trying to maybe play in the end game and make the most of it. It could be anything like that. Next time, once you get the imbalance on the board, then you have to see how you're going to effectively use that imbalance and make the most of it. The imbalance is not creating. Imbalance is imbalance. Creating an opportunity after having the imbalance is what comes over time with experience, and that's why you have to see games, play games, learn from your mistakes, and learn what you could do better. That's the only thing you can do to improve.
Cool, cool answer. And Black's rating, I think it must be more than 2500 because Nikola is a grandmaster,
Yeah,
right?
I think he was some 2560 or
Yeah,
70. Yeah.
2560. So I think like today we had pretty interesting games, Anurag. Like the first game I really loved. Means
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to check out the whole stream again to just see how you played once again. And
Definitely, yes.
this game was also a very smooth victory, which you showed like cute game, you can say. Last one was nice, interesting. So overall, we enjoyed with you, and I hope that the viewers also enjoyed with us here. And
Hopefully,
thanks for being there on the this incredible chess show, this episode
uh,
second, and it you
really,
made it special for us. So thank you very much for coming here and joining me and sharing your knowledge, because sharing knowledge is a like very rare thing nowadays. Miss your secrets, you can say, like how you prepared these things, and the way you calculated. Also the thought process is very important for the players like us, like where we can improve a lot. So like you shared that thought process, it is really incredible.
I'm glad to feel the same, Atul, and I'm glad to be here. You called me and give me an opportunity to express myself. I'm looking forward to more of your shows with other people also. Hopefully,
Yeah,
everybody of you are, and
yeah.
hopefully, you all liked my explanation. You as well as
Yeah, definitely. I
the
we
people
enjoyed. And
here.
guys, one thing, Anurag's channel is there. Like that channel is like ChessPod now. Means the channel is changed. It is well known as chess Goan Chess Trio. So do check it out. I have even pinned his channel's link there. Do subscribe to channel. I have given the channel's link in the description also. So I hope that you will learn a lot of things from him, Nandhini, and Niraj, who is also there on the channel. So it is a complete
Definitely.
package, you can say.
Thanks a lot for that, Atul. Hopefully, you all can subscribe and support our channel too.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all for today then, Anurag. We will
Definitely.
take a leave with the viewers. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
viewers for
Thank
being
you.
there, and don't forget to like the this video so that it will reach more people, and everybody will learn something from our legendary player Anurag Mhamal. Thank you. Thank you.